In a forgotten land, two towers rose across a wide and quiet river. One tower, built of marble and steel, belonged to a revered sage of intellect, known for his sharp reasoning and disciplined thought. The other, a sun-soaked sanctuary of clay and vines, was home to a wandering mystic, one who spoke little but listened deeply to the pulse of the earth. The two never crossed paths. They had heard of each other, but the river between them seemed impossible to bridge, one guided by certainty, the other by surrender. One day, a traveler passed through the village and left a message carved in stone between the two towers, the bridge between knowing and being must be built by hands that dare to risk everything. The mystic didn't wait. She began placing stones along the river's edge, singing as she worked, unaware if the bridge would reach the other side. She wasn't building for answers, she was building from love. The sage watched from above. His mind asked, what's the purpose? What's the guarantee? But something stirred in him, something ancient and aching. That night, unable to sleep, he opened a weathered book long forgotten in his study. A single page seemed to shimmer in the candlelight, and he was reading fourth rule of love. Intellect and love are made of different materials. Intellect ties people in knots and risks nothing, but love dissolves all tangles and risks everything. Intellect is always cautious and advises, beware too much ecstasy, whereas love says, oh, never mind, take the plunge. Intelligence does not easily break down, whereas love can effortlessly reduce itself to rubble. But treasures are hidden among ruins. A broken heart hides treasures. His heart pours not out of fear, but in recognition. He understood. He had built walls his whole life not to protect truth, but to avoid being undone by it. At dawn, he descended quietly, not with pride, but with humility. He placed a single stone next to hers, then another. Eventually, they stood on opposite ends of the bridge they had built not to meet one another, but to meet themselves. The mystic looked at him and said, in risking the fall, we remember how to rise. In breaking down, he replied, I have begun to see clearly.